Hello gamers, it's Tom Sidener, the Lonely Gamer, and today is Thursday, November 3rd, 2016, and it's time for the news. So the first thing I want to say in the news is congratulations to the Chicago Cubs for winning the World Series. I actually never thought that I would live to see this day. I have been a Cub fan since I was 8 years old, and I was on the Cubs T-ball team, and I never thought that I would live to actually see them win a World Series, but I did. It was exciting. It was wonderful. I do want to put out a lot of respect to the Cleveland Indians. They have a great team. I think the Cubs were very lucky to win the way they did, and I think the Cleveland Indians are going to be in the running for years to come. So I have a lot of respect for them, but I also am happy for the Cubs, and I'm happy for Chicago, and I'm happy to see them finally win a World Series in 108 years. Okay, so moving on to board game issues. The first thing I want to talk about is a fundraiser that is going on at Titan Games in Springfield, Illinois. If you live in Springfield, Illinois, you should go by Titan Games and help support them for their fundraiser that they're having. This fundraiser is for the Children's Miracle Network, and it's in association with HSHS. And they're going to have over 24 hours of gaming, and while they're doing that, you can donate to the Children's Miracle Network. The gaming is going to start on Friday, November the 4th at 6:30 p.m. There's going to be Magic that evening, and then throughout the night there's going to be board gaming, there's going to be RPG gaming, and it's going to go on into Saturday. So if you live in the Springfield area and you want to play some board games, or you want to donate to the Children's Miracle Network, then please go by there and help support this great fund. The people at Titan Games are great people. They have great games at great prices, so if you live in this area, it's your best place to go to buy board games. Okay, so let's talk about a few things this week that have released in the last week. The first thing I want to talk about is Dungeon Saga. If you're a Dungeon Saga fan and you did not get all of the expansions by kickstarting it, the latest expansion has been released. That's the Tyrants of Halpi expansion. That expansion has a nice big dragon, which looks really fun. I'm a fan of that game, and I like that game. But I will warn you that the only place that has it for sale yet is Tabletop Now. So I will put a link in the description to Tabletop Now's sale for that expansion, and I'm sure it's going to show up on all the other locations probably in the next couple days. So that is Dungeon Saga's Tyrants of Halpi expansion. It's a good one. Get it. The next thing I want to talk about is Seven Wonders Duel Pantheon. That was released this week. You can purchase that. I've seen that at several different places. If you're a fan of Seven Wonders Duel, that's the two-player Seven Wonders, then Pantheon is the first expansion for that game, and it's something that you might be interested in and might want to pick up. The next game that was released this week that people are going to probably be very interested in is the new Game of Thrones game. It's called the Iron Throne, and this game is based on Cosmic Encounter. So what they did was they took the Cosmic Encounter game and they added a Game of Thrones theme to it. So if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, or you're a fan of Cosmic Encounter, you're probably going to be a fan of this game. So if either one of those things is in your wheelhouse, then go check that out. That's a Game of Thrones, the Iron Throne. The next thing that's out this week is Legends of Andor has their new expansion out. It's called The Journey to the North. It's a really cool expansion because you put your characters on a boat and you send them north, and while they're on the boat they're going to find sea serpents to fight, and they're going to find islands and stuff like that, and so it sounds like a really cool expansion. If you're not familiar with Legends of Andor, it is a very story-driven adventure game. It's cooperative, so you play as a group and you're trying to complete these scenarios, and being able to get on a boat and go find islands and fight sea creatures sounds like a pretty cool addition to this game. So if you like Legends of Andor, this is something you may want to try to pick up. That's out now for sale in retail. This was a big thing for Gen Con this year. People were really clamoring to get it, but it never made it to Gen Con. They had an empty box there, but the game missed its shipment, which happens to some games at Gen Con, and so it was not for sale at Gen Con. So if this was something you were disappointed about not getting at Gen Con, it is out for sale at retail now, and you can pick it up. Okay, so let's just talk about a couple games that have been announced. I don't have a lot of information for these games, but they are coming. So the first one is Cool Mini or Not has announced a robot game called Gigaido. I don't know a lot about this game, but it looks pretty cool. It looks like it comes with fully painted miniatures. I know that Cool Mini or Not has purchased the rights to things like Crossmaster and Crossmaster Quest, which all come with painted miniatures, and so this may be kind of a direction that Cool Mini or Not is going, and that's kind of cool, because I'm not a painter, but I like painted miniatures. The other thing that's coming out from Cool Mini or Not is Cronia, and that is a game with simultaneous selection, and I'm pretty sure it has kind of a Mythic look to it, so I'll put some information in the show notes about that, and you can check that out. A game company called Cubicle 7 has announced that they are going to bring out a Doctor Who card game. So if you're a fan of Doctor Who, this is one you may want to check out. There's not a lot of information out of it yet, so I don't know how the game plays, but it is definitely coming, and it's coming from Cubicle 7. Another thing that's coming down the pike is WizKids is partnering with Lookout Games, and they are going to provide painted miniatures for Agricola. So, to be honest with you, I play Agricola. I don't know that I need painted miniatures for Agricola. We have the wooden circle things for Agricola that represents your family, and we've actually purchased stickers that you put on there, so you have a father and a mother and some kids, which is kind of cool. Painted miniatures would be cool, but the cool thing to me about this is the trend. I hope this is a trend that they're looking at, because there are several games out there that I would love to have painted miniatures for, and the one that comes to mind the most is Dead of Winter. It would be so cool to be able to buy a pack of the figures, plastic painted miniatures for Dead of Winter. Dead of Winter is a great game, but it has cardboard stand-up figures that are not very inspiring. But if you could just buy a pack of figures to go with that game to add to your great game, that would be really cool. I know there's been a trend in the last few years to like provide coins and, you know, resources and stuff for games to replace cardboard or wooden tokens. So I'm kind of hoping this is a trend that WizKid is going to do and is going to provide for other games. But for now, they're providing painted miniatures for Agricola. Alright, let's get to the Kickstarter news. I've got a couple Kickstarters that I want to talk about. The first one is Leaders of Euphoria. That is a card game where you've got a ray gun and you're trying to shoot other players with the ray gun. There are two different versions of this. You can get the standard version, which has cardboard tokens for the ray guns, or you can get the advanced version, which is has plastic ray guns and a little spot in your player board to put the ray guns where you can move them like a turret. Your player board in the advanced version also has a handle where you can hold it up and hand people cards off of your player board. So it looks pretty cool. The standard version is $20 and the advanced version is $29. That game is fully funded and it has 16 days to go. So if that sounds interesting to you, then check that out. The next Kickstarter that I want to talk about is one that I am very excited about, and that is Mythic Battles by Monolith. Now Monolith is the same company that did Conan. I just got my Conan game last week. I did an unboxing for that, so if you're interested in that, I'll put the link to the unboxing in the show notes. But that is an amazing game. I actually got to play it on Saturday, and it was very, very fun, and I'm looking forward to playing it again, hopefully tonight. We'll eventually hopefully do a video of us actually playing that game because it's a really fun game. The quality of the components are top notch and I'm really enjoy that game, so I'm really looking forward to Mythic Battles. Mythic Battles is a tactical miniature game based on Greek mythology. There's Zeus and Athena and several other gods that you can play, and then there's troops, there's heroes, there's monsters, there's all kinds of things in this. A buddy of mine said it reminded him of Blood Rage, but it plays a lot different than Blood Rage, but some of the components actually look like they could be in the Blood Rage game. So very, very cool. It is a tactical miniature game on a board, so you move your characters around the boards. Interestingly enough, the board is compatible with Conan, so they are going to actually put out some scenarios for Conan that use this board, and so you can also use the Conan boards in Mythic battles as well, so that's kind of neat. So there's going to be some crossover between those two games. There's some really cool mechanics in this game, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the show notes to a gameplay video that I did not do, somebody else did, but they did, and they play through an entire game of Mythic battles. Go check that video out. And if this game looks interesting to you, go check out the Kickstarter. The funding goal for this Kickstarter was $80,000, and it funded in less than 4 minutes. In less than 4 minutes, they had over $80,000. And currently, it's been going on for about 24 hours now, and they're just under $400,000 in the Kickstarter. So this is going to be a big one. It has 28 days left to go, and there's only one pledge level, which is really nice, so it's not real confusing, and that pledge level is $99. $99 gets you everything but add-ons. It gets you the base game and all the stretch goals, and there's a bunch of stretch goals already unlocked, and probably a lot more to come the way this game is going. So that's a really good one. Now, I know that Monolith doesn't watch my videos, but if somebody from Monolith actually happens to see this, I am rooting for Poseidon. Poseidon is the god that I like to see in the game or in an add-on, because Poseidon is one of my favorite Greek gods. So there you go, Monolith. If you hear this, do me that solid and put Poseidon in the game. We are going to move on to one last thing I want to talk about, and that last thing is Scythe Invaders From Afar. Scythe Invaders From Afar has been slated to come out 11/15, so that's November 15th. We're supposed to see Scythe Invaders From Afar. Scythe is a really good game. I really like that game, but the problem is my game group gets kind of big, and it's nice to have more players in the game. So Scythe Invaders From Afar will push Scythe to a 7-player game. I don't know how functional it'll be. It might be too many, but I guess we'll find out. But I'm really looking forward to it for that reason. So if you're a Scythe enthusiast and you're looking forward to this, November 15 is when it's supposed to come out. Okay, so that's it for today's news. If you live in the Springfield, Illinois area, please stop by Titan Games and try to support them in their Children's Miracle Network fundraiser. Enjoy playing games, have a lot of fun. Until the next time I see you guys, happy gaming.